Watch this video to learn about the key features and navigation of a created survey. First, we'll locate the survey we want to work on. Surveys are sorted in descending numerical order by default. If the survey you want to work on isn't visible on the page, you can scroll down to locate it, or use the Ctrl+F keys on your keyboard to locate it. We'll use the Ctrl+F keys. If you use Ctrl+F, you can enter a specific plan number, word, or phrase. Once you've located the survey you want to work on, select the CSD reference to open it. This will open the survey in Spatial View. The Spatial View displays the marks, vectors, boundary lines, and parcels captured in the CSD. The key functionality you will see when you open a survey is the CSD header bar, the workflow control bar, and the tools control bar. To provide maximum space to work on the Spatial View, there are a range of tools which are accessed using a combination of toolbars, panels, icons, and left and right clicking. We'll show you these in this video. The CSD header bar is located at the top left-hand corner of the screen and contains the back arrow, which is used to exit the survey and return to the My Work page, the CSD reference for the survey, the feedback icon, which will take you to a page where you can provide feedback on the Landonline application, the question mark icon, which will take you to support content relating to capturing a dataset, and the three dots More Actions menu, where you can create exception requests. On the left-hand side of the page is the workflow control bar. This workflow control bar has been designed to follow a capture workflow from top to bottom. From the workflow control bar, you can access the following functions: input land XML file, enabled users, pre-validation, survey details, marks, vectors, existing parcels, irregular lines, new parcels, schedule memorandum, survey report, supporting documents, TA certifications, and the submit function is coming soon. Until it is available in a new application, the plan generation and submit dataset need to be completed in Legacy. If you're working on a screen and find part of the toolbar disappears off the screen, you can use the zoom functions, including Ctrl plus mouse wheel to change the scale of the window. To use Ctrl plus mouse wheel, ensure the cursor icon is hovering over a toolbar before scrolling. Otherwise, it will simply zoom in and out of the Spatial View without changing the toolbars. Now we'll look at the Tools control bar. The Tools control bar is located on the right side of the Spatial View and contains the following features: zoom in and out of the Spatial View, zoom in or out to center the survey data in the Spatial View, access the Layers panel, which allows you to hide or show the captured and underlying data on the Spatial View, inspect and adopt, which allows you to query underlying data. Additionally, you can access the process balance, parcel, and adopt vector functionality from here. And regenerate, which allows you to refresh the entire survey to update the geometry. For example, after you've completed the vector edit. This may not be reflected spatially in the map until a refresh is completed. Now you know what it looks like when opening a survey. Let's talk through the workflow. The workflow control bar is set up so that each of the icons opens a panel that follows through the survey workflow. If you hover over an icon, it will show a tooltip to help describe what the panel is for. Let's open the Marks panel to look at some of the functionality that is consistent between the panels. The panels are designed so you can work through them as you would read, left to right, top to bottom. The panel header contains a help icon, which will take you to support content relating to the panel you have open. An icon that allows you to pop the panel out into a separate window and move it onto another screen if you have one, and an icon to close the panel. We'll pop the panel out into a separate window. If the popped out panel ends up behind your Spatial View, select the icon again to bring it back to the front. Some of the panels have tools located on the top right-hand corner of the panel header. The example in the Marks panel is automatic mark linking. To open up the automatic mark linking drop-down, click the icon with the two blue circles inside it. For more information on how this function works, see the automatic mark linking content in the Mark section of the survey support content pages. Now we'll look at the common controls within the panels. You can select a single row in any panel by clicking on its checkbox. You can also select many rows at a time by simply clicking on their checkboxes. Or you can select a range of rows at a time by selecting the first checkbox, holding down the Shift key, and then selecting the last checkbox in the range. Once a row is selected in a panel, it will also be highlighted in the map. This applies to all selected rows. You can also select or unselect all rows by clicking on the icon at the top of the checkboxes. You can also select multiple objects in the spatial view by holding down the Control key on your keyboard and selecting each of the marks on the spatial view. As you select each mark on the spatial view, the row in the panel will also show as selected, and the panel will scroll to the mark you have selected. Let's move on to editing information in the panel. If you want to edit data in a panel, double-click on a cell or press the Enter key and then make changes. These will save automatically. Use the Tab key to move to the next field. You can also navigate a panel using just your keyboard. At the end of each row is a More Actions menu. Select the three dots to bring up the menu. The panel you are in will determine the options you see here. In the Marks panel, when you select Locate Feature on the spatial view, the spatial view will scroll to the feature. You can also right-click anywhere on the spatial view to bring up a drop-down with various options depending on where you click and what is currently selected in the spatial view. Some of the common options are Start linking marks, merge irregular lines, add and/or remove existing parcels, add survey reference here. Right-clicking on a provisional survey reference gives you the option to delete it. This brings us to the end of the key features and navigation of a survey video. Thanks for watching.